Just had tomato sauce on my face. Had to wipe it before YouTube. Kind of messed my whole vibe up. I was ready to say something. I wiped the tomato sauce on my face, and I was just like, the whole charisma just kind of shifted. Anyways, here's what I was talking about. I was watching YouTube, and I ventured into some police body camera footage, and it was this guy that they had just arrested for a DUI, and he's in the back of their car, and he's just going on and on about how they tased him while he was naked, and it caused him to have a bowel movement, and it was just like stuck to him and like caked all over him, and he literally started crying, like boohoo crying, and telling the story about how he was tased and it caused him to defecate. And it wasn't funny at the time, but it genuinely made me like the guy. I was like, I like how the guy described it. I like how his reaction took place within the spectrum of this world, and he went through that, and that was his experience and his reaction to it. Just, he was a likable guy, in my opinion. Have you ever started liking someone who wasn't like an underdog? Like, you know, they were like an underdog, and they were like, might have been even famous for being hated, and it was your first time seeing them, and you just happen to like them. There's just something about him, you just like him. And the next scene was him in a hospital bed, like, I don't want to go to jail right away type of deal. And he was in the hospital bed, like shackled to the bed by his leg. And he was in there attempting to pull the garbage can as close as he could to his ass so that he could take a dump. And at this time, there were like 4 glowing beams just moving up and down all over his blurred out gown from being like exposed in the back. And the cop just yells out, like, man, if you try to shit in that garbage can one more time, I'm going to tase you. And this is what really made me like the guy, right? Like, I just, his reaction to this statement, he goes, well, I remember when I was in the car, you pulled over to the side of the road and you tased me while I was naked and I fell face first into the dirt and I took a shit. So yeah, maybe if you tase me, that'll help me just take a dump right now. And when that was when he said that, I thought to myself, like, this guy could be a comedian. He could do comedy. Like, I would go to this guy's birthday party at a sports bar and probably really have a good time. So it goes on, and at the end of it, an image of him pops up, and it is of his head, just his head, just like a headshot, and he was like 60 pounds heavier, and his head was just enormous. You know when those people are like just so obese that it distorts their facial features and like inflates their entire head onto their neck? Like, when your head looks like that, it's legitimately scary on an anatomical level. Just from a human's perspective, looking at another one, like, it's almost like when a dog sees one of those really small dogs and isn't sure if it's a dog. It's that type of sentiment, I believe, that invokes the response in the brain, like, oh shit, the fear of the person's bloated head. But this wasn't the worst part, right? It was the dialogue that they played behind the image of his head. It was the commenter being like, he went to a party 5 years prior to this DUI incident and brought his own dog to the party. He went to a friend's house, right? He just went over to a friend's house and began to drink. And after he was inebriated, he stood up out of nowhere and took a gun out of his pocket and shot his own dog to death in front of everyone. When I heard that and I saw the image of his bloated head, I I was like, okay, I get it now. This guy sucks, right? Like, but I also realized how thin the line was between personable, funny, charismatic, like comedian type, and then just psychotic, psychopath. Not what do you call it? Like narcissist? Is that the proper terminology? Is it or like is it worse that sociopath? But that's different than a psychopath. It's two different pathways to being legitimately nuts, and one of them is socio, one of them psycho. I don't know. This guy was something, personality something. So it just made me realize how easily people can win you over as well. Like people can really win you out there with their responses to your reaction. It's just like, oh, dude, you're gonna shit in a trash can. Oh, that's a really funny story. I guess I kind of like you. So it's people can really win you over out there, and they're kind of terrible.